Hello. Hello. Beady Boy. November 4th, the morning after the beginning of the American presidential election. As usual, I had to push myself to get on air here today. In between explosive historical events, as tomorrow, November 5th, is Guy Fawkes Day, celebrated by many Britons around the globe. So I guess I can do my math. November 4th, Wednesday, 2020. Tomorrow, Guy Fawkes Day. Now look up Guy Fawkes. I know we don't like to stress Wikipedia, but it's a shortcut, and it'll give you an indication, those of you who do not know of Guy Fawkes, the historical magnitude of Guy Fawkes. But it's kind of ironic, kind of explosive. In between the beginnings of the presidential counting of the votes, see who wins, this November 4th, in between November 3rd presidential election start count and Guy Fawkes Day, November 5th. My passed away wife Hazel years ago used to say it beautifully, a penny for the guy. A penny for the guy. Please to remember the 5th of November. Gunfire, treason. Took those two explosive events to get me off the couch and speak to you, friends out there. Some may have given up. Last video, tail end of August. Used to stall from week to week. Now it's going month to month, season to season. As I always say, there's so much going on in the world. How are you today? I'm reasonably well, thank you. Of course, many around the globe were hoping that the final results of the American presidential election would be known this morning, November 4th. So a couple of predictions out there by pollsters might be accurate. It has to be decided maybe by the Supreme Court. Who knows? Electoral College is the American constitutional situation. And by the time you're seeing this video, it may have all been settled and Trump will have gotten the Electoral College. If not, the other side gets the Electoral College. But for Britons around the world, like there are those who say, well, British People's League, what kind of name is that? Well, we're talking to those of British stock around the globe. Not necessarily that they gave up and left Britain, no. Simply that by birth, you had to be born to British parents, British ancestry, wise people, Welsh, Irish, Scottish, English. Hello to fellow YouTubers who promote the ancient historical British Isles, the peoples thereof, spread around the globe. Religious aspect, British People's League is for our ancient cultural and religious traditions. That includes Druids, Vikings, Christians, you name it. The key is that we remember our ancestors and we promote our ancestral obligations to respect and protect our peoples. We need a global linkage. Someone borrowed what I put in one of the earlier videos a few years ago. Canuck, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, United Kingdom. as being similar to the British People's League concept, except for one key factor. The British People's League is proud of our race. Canuck, that is being talked about internationally, is being talked of as a trading partner. So yours truly, I've been clicking into YouTube shows that have been discussing the Canuck as trading partners, throwing a curveball in there with British People's League. It's upset some. They just want to talk about trading, money, 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 the conservatives, money, money, money. Of course, the enemy camp, multicolored globalists, they too talk money, money, money. Point being, is that all there is to life? Sure, we need money to get by. But there has to be philosophical attitudes for your ancestors. Or you're nobody if you can't respect your ancestors. You're just a featherless biped, to quote a description of the late, the great Dr. William Pierce. A planet inhabited by featherless bipeds. So what's going to come of it all? Is the Supreme Court of the United States going to have to decide the election? I don't think so. But you could be listening to this broadcast in December, after Trump wins the Electoral College, or Biden, whichever. But let's not take the focus away from being proud of your ancestry. Other races are getting together, getting free handouts. Dare I suggest that a lot of radical young white people around the globe have given up on all the systems. They're turning to radical measures. I'm not condemning or promoting. I'm just stating a fact. They've got to live with the situation 20 years from now, with the globalists financing the anarchy of all the other races against our race, our white, beautiful, glorious white race. Yes, as usual, checking the time. And as usual, no notes. I just had to come on air, get off my chest. I've lost a couple of subscriptions because I haven't been up to current events. Or I was wondering, maybe a couple of the subscribers canceled because they're ticked off that I promoted the old National Front in the United Kingdom. And I have it on the website. Facebook, my Facebook page. They're holding meetings, the old National Front, on, I guess you call it Zoom. I don't go in for Zoom. I don't go in for Telegram. I just stick to the basics. And dare I suggest that white patriots who are still on Facebook are clever. Because you have to keep it legal under the illegal laws. Well, we're doing fine. We're recontacting old contacts. And as said in the past, as you techies out there know, the techos, you can exclude people you don't want to snoop into your Facebook. It's easily done. But the Telegram that so many are, thrilled by gives them a feeling of importance. They think they've got it coded. What a joke. Coded. Big tech knows every move you make. Who cares? they're thought controlling the masses. Now, if Biden wins, we all know what an idiot he is, and his vice presidential woman, not because it's a woman, but you know what I mean. He'll be caught in a straitjacket, as if he cares the millions that his family have acquired, like the Clintons. We all know the score. And number one score on these YouTube videos by John Beatty is to always promote the dinosaur news on a positive tone. And it is positive that when pressure is put on we of British stock, we come up with solutions. The harder it gets, the better we get. It's the nature of our stock. I would like to try and do the videos more often, but when there's world events seizing the news media, I just have to wait for the right moment to slip in. Here in Canada, the Dominion of Canada, so-called Prime Minister talking of bringing in millions of Africans. It's already happening in the States, happening all over Western civilization. It's wake-up time. And as said a few moments ago, the young white patriots around the globe are frustrated and fed up with we older generation. They're doing their own thing. There's one promising group in America called the Patriotic Front. They seem to be taking the BS by the horns. In Britain, various YouTubes that I promoted on past shows. But right now, I promote the old-timers. Not because they're my circle, the old-timers, but the old-timers, they do a weekly meeting on YouTube, the National Front meeting. And you start off looking at the Zoom camera. You think, what is this, Wrinkle Village, senior citizens moment? But listen to those fellows, seasoned patriots, Richard Edmonds, etc. Surely it's acknowledged by now, talk of the Second World War just doesn't work. So many years ago, every country has their heroes. No matter if the globalist mobs are tearing down the statue of our heroes, whether the Confederacy, Winston Churchill, Lord Nelson, whoever. They're in the spirit, they're in the hearts, they're in the minds, they're in the souls. If Trump wins, or has won, as this video will be on for a while, are things going to change? Not much. He promised the black votes bribes. Every color under the sun, every color under the rainbow, he's promised bribes. Not much better than Biden. False illusion that he's the only hope. Tell that to a Palestinian. Our ancient way of life is being threatened, so that's a negative. But the positive is we can still use YouTube. With all the talk of us all being crushed on YouTube, but we're still here. So never mind the doom and gloom. If you feel solely individually as a lone wolf frustrated, be legal. Do a YouTube. Look at all of the other patriotic YouTubers for guidance. The successful ones and the know-how. I just had the thought, well, if YouTube's so easy, Beatty, how come you went from weekly, now you're at seasons? We're going to hear from you again till next spring, Beatty? Well, I've got to do it to prove I'm still alive. Yeah, we're hanging on. I got a nice surprise the other day. Contact from a person I haven't heard from or seen for years, actually, since the 1989 Party for Patriots in Cottage Country, Ontario, Canada. This particular fellow built the bandstand for all the various bands. Brought the lumber, did a fantastic job. And then prior to that, before yours truly left Toronto in 1983, this particular person painted on our garage door on a main busy avenue in Toronto, in downtown Toronto, a beautiful Union Jack, and very precise, very precise. At 644 Woodbine Avenue. So the contacts are still out there. But as the present, there's just two on the Facebook who were actually present at the successful Party for White People, Party for White Patriots in 1989. Well, that's going way back, Johnny boy. In terms of history, it's not absurd. So as we're rounding out today's report, November 4th, 2020, always keep in mind the white supermarket shelf. The choice is there for you to choose to suit your personality. Who's to say what reality is? I'm leaning towards the patriot groups, the militia groups, legal use of arms for self-defense, LUDUs, legal underground defense units. Unfortunately, some people use the term LUDUs, legal underground defense units, as an excuse to do nothing, and they can say, oh, we're with an underground unit, John, we're doing something. Well, let your conscience be your guide. Let your conscience be your guide. Well, that's about it for today. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Dinosaur News, brought to you by the British People's League, signing off. Till next time, take care of yourself, take care of your brothers and sisters and your family. God bless each and every one of you who is true in the heart and soul. Enemies can go to hell. Goodbye for now.